of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Everybody is present or excused. That we may have somebody joining us in a few minutes. We'll see how schedules roll. Additions, accept agenda. Anybody got anything on the agenda that we need to update, change, or modify?
Except that, I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
We've got a motion to accept the agenda. Can I get a second? Second from Anito, thank you. All right, any discussion on that one? All right, all in favor of approving the agenda as presented, signify by saying aye. All right, next up, law enforcement recognition. Guys,
So Travis, on behalf of you and the Board of Trustees, if Tucker, Sean, and Rod could please come forward.
right.
To the superintendent, and I've asked leadership to maybe highlight with some of the things that you can as a Board of Trustees. But Travis, your idea was, this is a super awesome, and maybe we'll do it every month with different areas, but these three gentlemen up here are a critical component of why our schools are safe and why our communities are safe. And the work that they do with us weekly, the work that they do when they get called to, thank goodness, all situations. They're in front of our schools in the morning, they're in front of our schools in the afternoon. They find a way to make it happen. And we all know that their budgets are just as tight as the rest of ours, but yet they're still committed to doing what's best for our community and for the district. So on my behalf as a superintendent, I want to say thank you. That's the reason we're here tonight, so the cameras can also see you. And just publicly know, even this last weekend, you see them at games, you see them all over the place. They call when there's a situation to keep me informed of what's going on. They've been very proactive in the trainings, the TAC 1 trainings, going through all of our buildings, and just that collaborative effort. So thank you, gentlemen, for the work you do that's behind the scenes that nobody sees. But for me as a superintendent, it's critical to us keeping our community and school district safe. So thank you.
I don't know.
I want to say on behalf of Rod and Tucker and everybody, the sheriff's office, the police department, you said you nailed it, Charles. You had a collaborative effort. Like this weekend with regionals, I mean, you guys rocked out of the park as far as everybody involved in that. I know that took a lot of hands on the school district's part, and we were able to come and watch some basketball, which was nice, and work at the same time. So I think that's huge. The fact that I can reach out to anybody at any time and we can, fix the problems before they arise, I think that's key. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody in the room that's involved with the school. That I think it's a great partnership, and let's just keep that ball rolling.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, I never pick up or drop off, but I don't see you guys as people on board. Your officers are close, and our kids are as safe as we can make them. So thank you as a parent and as a board member.
Sure.
You guys are doing great.
Well, they enjoy being in the schools, and they school safety is our number one priority. Always has been and always will. I mean, I think Rod would agree with that. That's what keeps us awake at night when you hear certain things, right? Call you in the morning, hey, Charles, I got this email. Let everybody know this is what's kind of happening across our state or in the country. And so we're just going to keep doing what we do to keep everybody safe. And if anybody ever has any questions or concerns, don't ever hesitate to call us, please. I mean, we just had an incident where a couple of folks made a phone call to us in reference to some of our hardware stores with the case we had in town. And the old, see something, say something. And they have to. So that goes to the school district as well. So
good show. Well, if you haven't had a chance, you ought to really check out the principal's reports. Cloud Peak Elementary had a special one for you and your officers.
Okay.
But if you get a minute, check that one out. And thank you guys again.
Mr. Chair, if I may, that's okay. Just a quick background. I grew up with a dad who was a law enforcement officer for 32 years and a mom who was an educator. So I got to see that work up close and that cross section between community and service. And so from the bottom of my heart, as someone who has both been in education and now gets to serve on this board, we're very, very grateful for the work that you do in keeping our kids safe. It means a lot.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
I also wanted to highlight, I'm super appreciative, not only as a parent, but as a board member. The relationships you're building with our students is really important. I've had a lot of comments. I'm the liaison for the high school, and they're the high school kids, which I think, it's not as cool to be, building relationships with law enforcement, but I know they're reliant on it and they're embracing it. And I think that's really important as our kids continue to grow and go out, this resource officer situation that's up there it's being embraced, and I hope you guys can feel that, because the students are talking about it and they're grateful as well.
It's fun when you can go to the games like this weekend and
Yeah,
you see the
they're
kids that come up and they high five and you get to talk to them, or you get to sit with the students and everybody, ask if they could use the taser or whatever. It's like, yeah, for sure, for $40. But yeah,
But I appreciate that. I think that's really important at their level as well.
that means a lot. Thank you.
For having our kids know the good guys to call when they need help.
Yes.
They're
For sure.
huge. Yes. Not everywhere anymore.
Sean, the other thing I saw is you guys don't always come in uniform. A lot of times you're in plain clothes, and I think that's really wise of you to do that, because people are looking for you the way you're dressed now,
Right.
but they're not when you're dressed like Tucker, with the exception of Tucker. But I think that's really good.
And nobody pays attention to us we look like Tucker.
I'm undercover.
Yeah.
Well, part of that is too, that's for both worlds for me. I have a daughter that's playing a lot of sports and whatnot, so I can go watch her and still kind of look around at the same time.
But look and see what's going
Yeah,
on.
so
So,
that
yeah,
works,
that's
but, so I
super
kind of
important.
take advantage of that. Thanks, Steve.
So one of the things we're doing is for the month of March, officers that want to go in the buildings and eat lunch with the kids, it's on the district, and they'll bring it to us. And if they want seconds, they'll just get seconds.
Just go get it, miss get it.
But building leadership, anybody else want to add? I'm just grateful for the relationship. And I also want to point out, everybody assumes this is typical. What we have here is non-typical. It's a relationship that is pretty unique to our community. So it's kudos to the players involved, and that's these gentlemen right here and our leadership team. So it's a pretty special collaborative piece.
And I think it's pretty good that the facilities department works with Sean and Rod and make sure their officers have access and the right access to get into the buildings if, something was to happen.
We ever get there fast? Yeah, that's awesome.
They do.
We've come leaps and bounds over the last few
It
years.
really has. I
Communication.
should do a lot of that. Charles, us four had quite a few meetings together to figure stuff out. And if you have one person that's not on board, working as a team, it wrecks it. So, yeah, so we came a long way since Charles come on board. So.
Awesome.
I just add one thing, just what Charles said. I talked to a lot of county attorneys around the state, talked to a lot of the other folks that are in law enforcement throughout the state, and Charles is right. What happens in Johnson County does not happen other places. There's people that fight and dislike each other and can't work together, and we don't have that amongst us and with you guys, and we appreciate that so much. That makes our job so much easier, and it makes our communities great places to live. And we're thankful for that. We're glad to be a part of the community. Thank you for letting us come tonight.
Amen. Yeah.
We do have our disagreements.
That's only when you're wrong.
Just today. But you agree to disagree and move on. So
You agree to disagree and you move on, and it's a real conversation about what's right. So it's good.
All right, well, thanks again, guys. We really do
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Rod just rolled on. Yeah, he ran out.
oh, dude.
No gift for you.
Get certificate, but you're good.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it. Yeah, see you.
All right, next up, we've got a special guest tonight. Mr. Super, would you like to do the introduction?
I will let Mr. Anderson introduce our special guest, and then I will kind of go from there.
Very good.
So yeah, I'll let Charles tell the story behind the story, but I would want to introduce Lori Gerke. She's a school special ed law attorney, thank you. And year and a half into the job, there is so much gray in special ed, and so we're hoping that she can provide a little color for our admin group tomorrow. So I'll let her.
Yeah, Lori, if you want to just sit up here, so just kind of go there for the introduction.
Yes.
So it is my honor to introduce Lori today. I've told you several times of how I met Lori. I was in the wrong meeting at the LRP and had an opportunity to connect with her. We brought her on board as a support for JCSD with some trainings, which one of those will take place tomorrow. Kind of support us through all the challenges I think a lot of districts around the state are doing. In addition to that, she is one of the support people for the Wyoming Department of Ed. And so it kind of parallels some of the work that we're trying to do and the work that we'll see tomorrow. So very grateful for the services she's providing for us to continue to give us guidance, especially in the special ed world of law that changes a lot. Or it doesn't change a lot. We've been misinterpreting maybe how some of the words,
How quickly
which is very common. And I guess, Travis, for you and the board to understand, this is a proactive approach to training and supporting our admin team, which will be what we're doing tomorrow, and kind of helping answer some of those questions. So I appreciate you being here, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I did give every one of you a little folder that just gives you my resume, a little bit about what my office does and some of the services that I provide. But I'd love to just give you a little background of who I am, right? So I grew up in Cheyenne, Wyoming, went to school in Green, Colorado, got my bachelor's in special education. Spent a year in Colorado and a year in Wyoming, and then my life took me to Arizona. Spent 30 years in public education in Arizona, 13 years as a special education teacher. My focus as a special ed teacher was transition. So my classroom was a school band. The kids went into the community, job coached, job developed, and hopefully had an impact in their success after high school. And then my life changed a little bit, and the last 17 years of my life I was a special ed administrator, and I did special education and 504 and ELL and gifted and wore all those hats that many small school districts do, and spaced down that barrel of 30 years and wanting to retire and thought, I'm not quite done. So I went back to law school. So I am a second career attorney, and I used all my practical experience in special ed to be a special ed attorney. So I've been really fortunate. I've been practicing now for 8 years. 4 of them I was with a law firm in New Mexico, nationally known law firm for special ed and education law. Kind of honed my practice there a little bit, and then my husband and I decided to open my own practice. I practice in Wyoming, I practice in Arizona, and I also practice in New Mexico. I am licensed in Colorado and Nebraska, but haven't quite dipped my foot in that pool yet. Part of my focus, really, of my practice is really to marry the practical part of special ed, like what you all do, what I used to do in special ed, and I marry it with the law. I kind of call it a preventative practice, so that I'd rather be upfront with you, give you the training, give you the skills you need to do your day-to-day job. Maybe you won't need me on the litigation side of the house, but if you do, then I'm there. And so it really is, it was a very interesting first meeting with Charles, but it was awesome. And when my phone rang and it was his name on my phone, I was like, awesome. So I'm glad that I can be a support. I have several clients. I work with the Department of Ed here. I also work with the Department of Behavioral Health here in Wyoming, and a few other little clients here and there here in Wyoming. But I'm very glad to be back in the state. And if I can answer any questions. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some training. We're going to talk a little bit about discipline. We're going to do some open Q&As. And so hopefully we can start building that relationship with your staff and your leaders, and get the fuzziness out of IDEA and special ed.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So, any questions?
Questions?
Comments?
Lori,
Yeah.
Is your office in Tucson then?
It is. So I have a virtual office,
Okay,
but my husband and I have a nice big RV, so we travel around a lot. And anytime you need me in person, I'm here. And then a lot of my practice is virtual, so I do Zoom calls and but practicing here in Wyoming and New Mexico and Arizona, I kind of travel around a lot.
Anybody else?
It's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know, so it's hard to ask a question, other than people like Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Because
And we've been
that's what
getting
we
lots of
encourage,
really
yeah.
good questions.
As long as we don't have a quorum, tomorrow you can come to our training.
Yeah.
Otherwise I stay home. Well, thanks for
Well,
coming.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
very
Welcome.
much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we got student celebrations and school spotlight. Mr. Super, where would you like to begin?
Well, CPS, you are up.
Okay.
Turn it over to you.
You bet. So I'm only going to stand here for about 30 seconds to introduce our Special Olympics athletes and our Special Olympics coaches so that we can spotlight their work that they have been doing to prepare and then follow through with the jackalope jump. So Mrs. Overton and students, if you would like to be spotlit now, is that what we're So can you click on this presentation, please, Dr. Miller? Thank you.
Okay, so this year was our second jump that we did with our school district team, and it was a huge success. You can hit the next. So this is our team this year. So we've got a unified Special Olympics team. We've got 13 athletes, and we've got 13 unified high school buddies that participate in all of the activities with us. You can hit the next one. So the Jackalope Jump is an annual fundraiser that Special Olympics does across the state. And so this year, for our jump, we had 30 jumpers, and we had some school involvement from all 4 schools here in Buffalo. Each of the schools kind of did their own version of fundraising. So our lovely costumes there was from our Cloud Peak fundraiser. So the kids had a thermometer, and then each tick mark, they got to reveal a mystery costume and a mystery jumper. And so those were our costumes that got revealed. So between all of the school fundraising and all of the individual fundraising, so that the athletes each had a link to go and fundraise on their own as well. We raised $7,234.24. So our team specifically from Special Olympics gets 70% of that. You can go to the next one. All right, so Miss Carly. Okay, so Carly did some fundraising on the side. Carly, you want to tell everybody how many times have you done the jackalope jump?
2 times.
Did 2 times.
Wow.
And what does it feel like when you jump in that cold water?
Kind of warm.
Yeah, and who usually jumps with you?
My mom, my brother,
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. So Carly raised $355 for her team. And you can hit the next one. All right, so then Jonathan raised $675. And Jonathan, in that picture, what were you thinking?
I was thinking that it would be really cold.
Was it that cold?
Yeah.
It was really cold. Yes. How many times have you done the jackalope jumps? You've done it twice. Yep. Awesome. And the next one. And Mr. Carson raised $775. And Carson, who did you jump with this year?
My brother.
Yeah, your brother. Yep. And is this the first or second time you've done it?
My second time I jumped.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Carson, what's your favorite part about Special Olympics?
How all of the support the athletes get in all the sports we get to play.
Awesome.
That's good.
So something really cool about our jump this year is we had all of the kids from Metal Arc come out. We had all the kids come over from Cloud Peak and the middle school. And so they all rallied around the pool, and it was incredibly loud. The kids were chanting everybody's names as they were jumping into the pool, and it was just a really, really cool experience. You can go to the next slide. And so there's just kind of some pictures. And so Mr. Morris at the middle school dressed as Gru, and some of the 7th graders dressed as minions. As his minions, yep. Mr. Corbin had a lovely costume with a sparkly tutu that left the pool nice and sparkly.
It made a spectacular splash.
Yeah, so overall, like, this event grew into something really cool. And so, like, yes, you're raising money for our team, but like just raising awareness for like what we're doing as a district. And just kind of our unified team as a whole. And so, I mean, after we did our jump, it was really cool. Coach Warren and I both had people come up and say, we want to do this next year. And so it's just something that's building for our team. And that's it.
Well, thank you guys. It was a fun event. We did get Dave signed up to jump next year.
Oh, Carly has something to share. Go ahead.
So, like about Special Low is we work together and we have family come and friends.
Yeah. They told me the water was cold.
It was pretty
It was cold when I got out.
I believe you.
When I got out.
Does the board have any questions for either our athletes, their coaches, or their families that came with them tonight regarding jackalope jump, Special Olympics, or really anything education related? I'm sure they'd be glad to answer.
Has anybody got a favorite event you'll be competing in?
Basketball and track and cheerleading.
Oh, that's fun.
So was it held in Buffalo and then state is somewhere? Ms. Warren?
Area games are gonna be in Sheridan this year, and state will be in Gillette this year.
Oh, nice. Well, they're pretty close then.
Yeah.
Great. I'm sure you guys will all do well. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for making the time to come tonight and spotlight Special O and Cloud Peak and Metal Arc too, and just our community. So we appreciate you.
Good luck at the Olympics.
I think we need to give a special thanks to the coaches who made this happen. Okay, let's not forget about them. It just doesn't happen overnight or by the snap of a finger. So we appreciate the work that you put in, and then moms, parents, your involvement in this piece too, getting the kids there and being a part of that. So I don't want to forget to recognize those.
Yes.
I would also say that I think your team just had the idea this year to because they meet for the winter sport at Cloud Peak, then the kids come and have lunch with their athletes prior to practice. And that's been a really nice addition as well. So thank you for that idea.
We appreciate all the support the school district has provided between letting us hold it, before school when people could come, like I said, letting us squeeze in there at lunch. Had a ton of support, and we thank all of you for that.
Well, I would say the atmosphere was elevated extraordinary this year, and I hope we continue to raise the bar because that was pretty cool.
It was really fun.
So if you think about it as a district, we raised close to $7,000 in the kettle drive, $7,000 for this. That's a huge celebration to this community that we live in. So that's over $14,000 that we raised in this community to support kids and just the families. So that's pretty awesome. So
Perfect.
And then to wrap that one up, we did have one public comment regarding this, Kelsey Tobias.
Guys, Kelsey Tobias here. I'm gonna have a seat just because make myself cozy. I didn't know you guys were all gonna be here. So, I was in a unique position when they were doing those, the jackalope jump. I was able to sub at Cloud Peak, and so the whole thing I have to say, I happy, sad, mad, crying. It just happened, so bear with me. I am so proud of you guys, the coaches. I am aware that there were a lot of like pieces and wheels that all had to fit together. If you were not there, you guys, I can't remember the last time hundreds of people worked together cheering for the same thing. Like there was, it was just magnificent. The staff, our policemen, students, parents, it was just, oh, you guys, it was a moment that I needed just as a community, be like, we live in the best place. So, coaches, kids, moms, dads, Oski, weather for making it work. There are a lot of things in Wyoming. It's like, oh, it's February, depending on the minute, this may or may not work. It worked and it was awesome. So, well done. Good job, everybody.
Right on. Well, thanks, you guys. You are welcome to stay, of course, but there's no need to continue sitting through here if you're ready to go.
That's your out.
Yes, I'll go with, but I can get away.
I'll just give you the. In the photos, Mr. Anderson, you're pretty photogenic because you were all You were, but you got caught in the photos. Okay.
Was that the end of that one, or do we have anything else there? That was it? All right. So next up, we had our community service portion. Mr. Super, did you want to tell us about these, or shall I jump in?
I'll just let you run with it, and then I'll take over with some things.
All right, well, starting out, facilities department, they had 4 of their members down to donate blood for this month's round, so thank you guys for always giving right down till you bleed. That's a blood drive.
We try to do that every week.
That's awesome.
Good one, Travis.
BH Girls Basketball Sneaker Drive. They're collectively getting used sneakers together that they can clean up and share with those in need. Apparently they can also be used for making new playgrounds when we recycle those as well. So they're getting used one way or the other. Then the BHS Student Council is on a bit of a quest, the Hunger Initiative. They were donating several times to help that Friends Feeding Friends do well. And then as we just saw, the Jackalope Jump was a big push that was a huge success. If you didn't make it, you really missed out. It was lots of fun. Other things or details? Mr. Super, anybody?
So I'm going to extend off that, and I'm going to put a kudos to you guys as a board of trustees. So in my board report, you're going to see the legislative forum in the picture. That's a huge commitment. So, and the reason I fall that under, or place that under community service is your time away from your families, your careers, to go down and do the things you've done through this recalibration process and even with the legislative forum, and to see the connection you have with other board members throughout the state is, again, sets you apart from any other board. So in my board report, there's a couple pictures. If you would like to look at those pictures and see if your eyes were closed or if you were actually smiling. But as a reminder, not every board had an opportunity to go, every board had the opportunity to go down, but not every board member chose to do what we did. From our meetings in the morning at the Capitol, and some of that goes back to our state leadership, I do want to make sure we're commending them for their service to our community. From the tour of the Capitol, from sitting in probably one of the most prestigious rooms in the Capitol and having a conversation about where we're at. On my behalf, I want to say thank you to your commitment and your community service to this community, so thanks.
Well, thank you. It was a good turnout, and we moved the needle some. Anybody got anything here? Other community services to highlight? All right, next up, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second, Dave and Marcia. Discussion on consent agenda. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, that'll get us to action items. First up, policy revision, second reading, this is policy file JEA, compulsory attendance age. Second reading, anybody take a motion on this one?
So moved.
A motion to review JEA on second,
Second.
and the second, Marcia Lynette. Discussion on this one.
Simple, I thought we had a good discussion at our work session.
Agreed, it's fairly straightforward. Okay, there's no other discussion. All in favor of approving JEA as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, policy adoption. This is a new mandatory that's legislatively, oops, I think I just grabbed the wrong one.
We look at KBR.
Yes, KBR, parental rights.
So I'll make a motion to approve policy KBR, parental rights complaint procedure. It's required that we do it, so,
Yes, it's legislatively mandated, so here we go. Can I get a second? Second, David Casey, thank you. Discussion on this one,
Mr. Chair,
please.
I did have one question. So within the policy, the original policy, the parental rights, it references a couple of other different policies, like one was the KB. Because it doesn't, like going down and like reading through that, there's no adoption. So are we adopting those as well along with? Or does that come later? Does anyone know the answer to that?
We already had that one and
We do have it?
And it was in compliance with.
Okay.
Existed, but we
Okay.
needed an add-on to make
Okay.
the new.
It just didn't have the date listed on it, and so I was like,
Do we have this, or are we tacking on to a
Yeah.
2B?
okay.
No, good question. I'm glad that you asked
Good
that.
question, but I also want to reiterate kind of what Dave said last time too. We keep seeming to add a lot more board
Yeah.
policies
Yeah.
through legislative law, which ultimately wasn't the goal when we started revisiting board policies, but that's kind of the world we live in right now, so.
Yes, we started out to reduce that. It grows every time. Other discussion on KB-R? Hearing none, all in favor of approving KBR as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, KBs are in. Next up, KBDA. Can I get a motion on parent and family engagement policy, Title I schools?
So moved.
Got a motion and a second, David Benito. This is again required. It's a Title I school. I imagine that the Title I statutes are going to overwrite any of this. I'm curious that it's required because I thought Title I law would have covered that. But
Yeah, remember when we're doing Title I audits, we have to demonstrate we have a policy that supports it.
thank you. Yes, I had forgotten. Well, that makes that easier, doesn't it?
This is all a part of compliance in order for us to approve supply grants.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, same question again with the policy that's also referenced and we have that as well. It's the personnel records and files,
I see GBJ.
GBJ. GBJ, okay.
What are they? Gibberish.
Again, I just asked that because there's no adoption date.
Yeah, I just attached the version of
Okay.
it, which is ours, but.
Okay. Be sure. Thank you.
Anybody got anything else on this one? Hearing none, all in favor of approving KBDA as presented, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, next we got CPES, coupling replacement bid. Pictures were great.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to adopt the coupling replacement bid?
I'll make a motion to approve the Apex Mechanical for CPS coupling project in an amount of $138,946.
Second that.
Motion and a second, Lynette and Dave. Okay, discussion on this one. We've got to get this fixed or it's going to get very swampy there fast. So this is kind of a needed.
And it's something Mr. Zink needs done and we need to do
Being
to
on
keep
top
our
of it.
facilities up.
Yeah, agreed. Anybody got anything else on this one? All right, all in favor of approving, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, all right, so next up, we got principal, director, supervisor contract renewal. I would entertain a motion to approve the recommendation to renew the contracts for the principals, directors, and supervisors for the 26-27 school year.
Make a motion. Sorry.
Casey moved, Marcia seconded. All right, discussion on this one.
So we have a great team in place, and we need to keep them. We don't want to lose anybody, so we need to make sure that we keep everybody on board.
Amen to everything they just said. Yes, we've got a great people. Let us keep them driving hard. Other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the renewal of contracts as stated, signify by saying aye.
And thank you to all you guys that we're talking about. Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're into reports. Principal reports. What do we got for our principals?
Jake, I'd just make a comment to you. You know, went to the basketball games this weekend and stuff. Very busy place. I thought things were well run. You know, I watch you out there. You're wearing multiple hats. You're out there cleaning the floor. You're helping law enforcement. You're doing everything. Thank you so much for making that a very smooth event, I thought, for all the schools involved.
I'd like to do a big shout out, Dave, if you don't mind, to Marshall Townsend on that as well. Marshall Townsend was the man behind the curtain. He, for the last 6 weeks, orchestrated all of the help to the brackets, to everything that you saw and how smooth that ran. He was the man behind the curtain, making sure all that happened. And so Mr. Cox and I are very blessed to have him as our events coordinator and taking care of those pieces. So that's honestly the reason why you saw such a smooth event, was because of that. So thank you.
Please.
I also want a big thank you to go to your custodial staff,
Mhm.
because that is a huge feat coming from someone who has to clean those things at my job. And I can't remember the gal's name with the bob, but she had a smile on her face for 4 days. And we got so many compliments from visiting schools of how friendly she was and how helpful. And so kudos to your custodial staff too,
pass that on
because
to
that's
Becca.
like a big thing.
Yeah, it's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, and in addition, Matt, I mean, it was a team
Oh,
effort.
yeah,
All the
they were
custodians
so
that
great.
had
Yep.
Sent the team up there. We had custodians from every school. It was a team effort.
All
Yeah.
hands, but
And they had smiles on their faces, yeah.
So thank you to everyone that helped out.
And even Jake, make sure you thank the ones that are down at the table, from our friend Jan Johnson, who's been there forever, it seems like, to Dalton. There's a big time commitment there, and they do a great job. They really do.
several compliments were made about just the way it ran and how fun and pleasant everybody was. So your staff really rose to it. Well done.
Thank you.
What else for the principal,
Mr.
please?
Chair, Jake, I'm gonna echo everything else everybody said. I spent some time up there this weekend. Kudos. I went to the restroom, didn't know the custodial lady. I had the exact same experience. I was exhausted just watching the games, and she was working hard, and she had a huge smile and was so grateful. Another highlight in your report, so cool, I thought, Chesborough Electric donated all that really cool stuff
Yes.
for apparently this building that hasn't been able to be used unless you had headlamps. So that is cool, because that stuff is not cheap.
Well, you know, it makes it a little easier to find things and when you're not in the
Yeah, I bet
dark.
with light, I bet it makes a huge difference, yeah. So echo the same thing. Are we doing all of the principles?
Yeah, this is every one of them. So
Okay.
if you got another, go
So
for
I
it.
have actually have a couple things. So that was for VHS. Then I wanted to, Ron,
Yes.
Clear Creek Middle School. I was really excited to hear about this uprising training that you had. I just read an article in the Sheridan Press of it highlighting and them collaborating with different entities within our state and how huge it is. The online safety and the technology. And I've attended for the last 4 years, it's been the Riot Road, I can't remember all the names, it's been at the high school, and there's always been a section of online safety and different things. And so I think it is super important and super valuable that we're offering that to those middle school kids because they are at a very vulnerable age. And, you know, knowledge is power. Knowledge gives them, you know, tools in their toolbox that they can use because this is real stuff. I would love to stand under a rock and pretend that it's not, but this is super real stuff. So awesome. You had a lot of awesome things. So thank you for that. And then Cloud Peak, Cloud Peak. Maggie, this is the first time that we've ever, through like the reports, and several of you had them, the PLC Leader Action Plan. And that was really interesting to me. It took me a minute to kind of figure out where everybody was going with it and like what it actually looked like. And yours was thorough, very explanatory, very clear, because we're just learning about the PLC stuff. I mean, we're trying to become the PLC board and you know, model what we're asking everyone to do. And so just learning along. And so your leader action plan was just like phenomenal. So then I dug a little bit deeper and I went and did some comparison into like school improvement plans and just like look, because like you guys can write about the domains and the different things and the actions and like, does that make like, okay, what does that mean to me? But I am able to collaborate with what your action, the leadership action, into like your school improvement plan, and wow, I can't even, and it's like, it's so cool to see that. So I was just, kudos to yours, and I understood well. Those are all the comments. So those other ones were to you guys, Mr. Corbin and Liz as well. Like, just way to go and way to work with your teams and be on board with your staff and work towards them and recognizing where there's difficulties and addressing those, because I mean, it's not all sunshine and roses every day, and this isn't easy and it isn't quick. And Mr. Corbin, one of the things that I thought was really interesting is the reference to PLCs and how you referenced that it had been going on for like 20 years, but what does it really mean? What does it really mean and what are we really doing? And it's a slow process. We have new teachers, we have veteran teachers, we have all the things. And I would imagine there's, you know, a gamut of personalities in every school that are like, been doing this for years, but you recognize that and you explain that and you are willing to address that. So that was really cool. And that was just part of I probably dug a little deeper than I needed to, but I was super interested. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to dig in and really read them, because you take a lot of time to make these reports thorough and do a good job with them. So it's appreciated that you
I really have to reflect, because there's some decisions that I have to make as a board trustee that sometimes I wonder, why am I making these decisions? But when I can get information like this from the people that have the boots on the ground and that are really answering my questions, because we can all say we're going to do what's best for students, right? We can say that. But are we really? And what is the evidence and what is the data? Because they're our ultimate customer. We don't have them, we don't have a business, right? And so it's important to me to dig through that so that I'm able to make a good informed decision.
Sure.
And so thanks you guys for the links. I will continue to click on them. I'll spend hours and, you know, give me what you got, because I'll read it.
One of the things that we talk about at Meadowlark is just the idea of orienting towards truth. It may not be pretty all the time, and that's okay if it's not sunshine and rainbows, but it is important for us to orient towards that so that we can do something about it and to work together to do that, whatever it needs to be. And so I really appreciate that, you know, I could put a happy face on everything all the time, but it's not authentic. It's not real for what we're trying to do.
And you have to accept the bumps in the road to really thrive and take on that growth mindset. And so thank you for recognizing that.
And also you, Mr. Corbin, as a, a first-time ever principal, like, what a huge feat. Like, what a huge thing. I mean, every day, I'm sure, is a learning, changing, every day, every single day. And I hope that you just wake up every day and say, do better today.
Today's gonna be great.
And thankful for a new day to do better.
Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Jake, one last comment, and we are an education system, and the 5 students that qualified, got the first cut of the University of Wyoming Trustee Scholarship. That shows the work from every teacher and principal, from kindergarten all the way up to your grade, and I hope every one of those kids gets it. And anybody that doesn't know, that's a $100,000 scholarship, and you've got 5 kids up for $500,000, and I think that's amazing, and a huge thank you to the entire district, because like you say, it starts at kindergarten.
It is.
Thank you, Trustee Bellis. That's exactly it. That is when you have a senior receive that type of scholarship, that is a scholarship honoring 13 years of commitment to that child. So that's impressive. And we had 5 of them. So if you look at the numbers, that's about 7%, 7% of our graduating class received that. That's a lot higher than most schools ever
That's
see.
incredible. Yeah.
So be 10%.
Go, Jake. Anything else, principals? Anybody?
So just kudos to those great questions about PLC leadership action plans. And if you didn't get a chance, I would look at the ones that are in the board reports. There's even a great little picture in the middle school that kind of explains that journey that ties back to their school performance plan. So it's that rotation. So we are seeing some great things. But more importantly is there's a lot of time and effort put into these reports, so I appreciate you looking at it. So thank you.
Okay, next up, we've got our operations team. Transportation, I about moved Bill up into the celebrations. I hear we have new people coming. Bill, you got one?
Yeah, we do. We have a gentleman that's come to us, interested in driving school bus. So we're working in the training and jumping through the hoops that we have. Not only do we have federal, but state and local things that we have to do to make sure that he's successful. Nice thing about this gentleman is he comes with some experience with, he worked for an assisted care facility in Colorado with high needs students, and he was their driver. So we're happy to get him scooped up. Maybe there'll be an opportunity that I can bring him in front of you and introduce. The paid training is roping him in. So and he's just moving along really great through the process. He's had some challenges, and of course we made sure that all of his certs are good and everything. So just super excited to break the seal. Hopefully this is a trend.
Yes.
So keep coming, and we'll take down the help wanted signs one of these days.
Hopefully come in a rush.
Yes.
You brought it with him.
What else, guys?
Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Mr. Fink, I gotta say thank you for giving your major maintenance projects. I think that's very important for a board member to know the projects that are going, what the cost is gonna be, and where you're looking at doing them in each school. So I wanna thank you for that.
Yeah, and that's something we did collaborative with the district, is we meet every Friday after the board meeting, go through the warrants and expenditures so we can keep a closer eye on it. We just, in the maintenance department, we spent a lot of money over the last few years. And it's just starting to go down. We don't have as big a cushion as we used to. So it's just something that we wanted. Mr. Oskey asked me to put in my board report so you guys can kind of see where things are going. And we'll infill this monthly and just keep adding to it.
It's great. Thank you, Joe.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Zink, I did have a question for you, and Ron, this kind of can go on yours. So in the Clear Creek Middle School, there's the stage lighting. Do we use that stage? I've never seen that stage been used.
It's been a long time since that stage.
A lot of people.
So is the plan to actually try to start using that again if there's lighting? Cause that seems like a,
It could be definitely a possibility where we can look at some smaller performances. I mean, as you see in the comments, it's not going to be like a massive performance like we have at the high school, but we could certainly do some highlighting with smaller performances where a specific grade level or just something celebrating something within the choir or band on a specific musical night, but with some lighting and making sure we could use that, it could be a possibility.
So Marcia, I'll answer that question. So it is a goal. We've been trying to work on it for 3 years, trying to get some estimates, not only at App, at KC, the high school, and it just comes down to a funding piece. I would like both Cloud Peak, the middle school, to have the ability for their stages to be used. So that also includes the PA system, that's the presentation system, so some of those. So those have always been a rotation of how can we get these to be better, but frankly, it comes back to the dollar amount and how we prioritize. But ultimately, the goal, John and I had this conversation, is the stage has never been used. How do we up some of those things and get our facilities more useful? So it's not only the middle school. KC is like $150,000 lighting project. I mean, there's more lights in that small stage in KC than there is probably in most big 4A schools. So how do we get those components and fix some of those things? So it has been kind of on the list, but the ball's been put up on the shelf just because we prioritize some other things.
Mr. Chairman, I think one person that never gets recognized enough is Ricky Sanders. You provide a lot of meals, you work with a lot of staff, and it's not a high-end deal, so you get a lot of turnover, but you always get the kids fed, and you always have the meals, and so thank you, because a hungry kid at school does not learn. I mean, it's we always talk about it. You're the director, so we're gonna thank you, and you do more than you think, and thanks for helping out the high school this weekend too. And Marcia, thank you and your family for the donation to the school.
you as well, Dave.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
I just wanted to say to Christy, thanks for the update. There she is. Thanks for the updates. You've done the board report, but then you highlight the updates that happen last minute. And super excited. Good job ordering those Chromebooks.
Yeah, new Chromebooks.
I had no idea that it was a daily change on the rates. So good job.
Yes, out front was good.
Yeah.
What else for the ops team, gang?
Just appreciate them because they're
They are keeping things up and running.
And look at the pictures John's putting in, and the spreadsheets that we're all doing together as an office team. It's pretty cool stuff.
I get a lot of questions. What's a big tall kid?
That's
right. Put a picture in.
Interject for just a second. I put it in my board report, but Mr. Zink's whole team has been just instrumental in some of our areas in metal art, taking care of us in spaces that are a little bit rough and fixing things and just making a beautiful place to learn and grow. And we can't do it without them. They've been absolutely amazing.
That section was real fun in your report to read how that's growing and developing and building out nice.
So Travis, just, let's just celebrate all sorts of great things.
Yes, by all means.
So that collaborative piece that you see there in that spreadsheet that we're working on together as a team, Leslie, Connie, Steve, Michelle, we're sitting down, actually budgeting out because there's a lot of expenses that are there. That's just major maintenance.
Yes.
Okay, the component projects we have on the table, there's a lot of money in major maintenance you're seeing right there. And it's an annual thing, so how do you manage that? But we had another conversation, and I want to say the total came over $14 million that we have a potential to put in for more funding down the road into the addition, the $7 million that we're already dealing with. So a lot of money through the processes that you've allowed us to create and put in the pipeline. That's huge to keep our buildings up and going with that. And a lot of that work is about a process, but it's also about the team that's putting the information together. So they call us and say, hey, you're doing the right things, what can we get you next? So kudos to the entire team for the work they're doing.
The effort you
That's a
guys
lot of
put
money.
in was huge to get everything sorted and prioritized. I know that was a huge push, but it's working now.
If you don't remember that number, 3 years ago, it's over close to $35 million, and that caused a lot of anxiety of where we're gonna get $35 million to fix our facilities.
I do remember that, actually.
And we're moving the needle to fix it, so.
And through legislation, I think we'll be starting the process after July 1 of starting the whole KC process of the HVAC. I'll be starting that all over for a new roof for Buffalo High School.
Oh.
And then the state has reached out to me like, okay, what's next? Here's your list of this many items, and that's when we sat down. And we come up with a kind of a plan, and we'll see what's gonna be next that they wanna, offer us more money.
Feel like need to get done.
And then that 14.4, I think it was, that was only in like, what, Leslie, 10 items?
10 items, 2 schools.
Wow.
So there's a lot of work to be done out there, and then again, I think about what can we do physically and mentally.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna throw money, we just make it happen.
Lori's gonna tell us to get your special ed funding for it, so we have.
Right, Joe? Anybody got anything? All right, admin reports? Yes, those of you that are about to go to the concert, go to the concert. This is totally time to dismiss, go get the concert, it's fine.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Please.
I think we need to recognize Connie and Leslie. With recalibration, you guys are going to have your work cut out for you. And we trust you guys because we know you have to have a preliminary budget by the middle of May, and it's gonna take some work, and I know it's gonna be a best guess estimate. But like I say, just know that I, for one, will darn sure trust what you guys come up with, because you've got, like I said, your work cut out for you.
It's a good thing we have fun doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure
Like
you
our
will.
numbers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other things for admin? Hearing none, let's move out. Board level reports. OCs.
We had, I wasn't here for the last month, but we did elect a new president, vice president. As the vice president is the last year's president, going over just a lot of new policies and new vendors and stuff. Basically, that's happened in the last 2 meetings. So other than that, there's not a whole lot super going on. A lot of repairs have been made. The office and sheriff, so.
We did have some work going. Good.
Travis, can we back up?
Of course.
I
Yes,
thought
sir.
that was way too easy when you were talking about district level reports.
Okay, let's make it difficult. How do we do that, Charles? Your expertise.
I think she should stand up. To the district level. So Leslie, part of the deal is she put that board report together for the business office. So kudos to that piece with what we're looking at. Also in the superintendent and Craig's report, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yes, there's a bunch of things.
So I want to put that together. Dr. Miller, him and I, the anxiety levels go. I feel like there's 15 plates that are spinning that all have to be completed within the next 4 or 5 months. So without this district level admin team, everybody thinks there's not a lot going on. Actually, there's more going on than just the fact is the kudos we're keeping systems moving is huge.
Yes.
So from Dr. Miller and what all the plates that are spinning from the graduation requirements to the K-12 lit bill, including the budget piece that's going on, and then coming back to my report, accreditation starts all over again, from the grant writing starts all over again. There are a lot of wheels in motion, and what I'm grateful for is the people that are keeping the wheels going allows the people on the ground to do their jobs with their kids. And that is huge. Dave, your compliment to the budget, it is. 20 years of financial, what recalibration has brought to the table and how we finance is gonna change, how we're gonna do some things. So kudos to everybody, but we were just accredited, 97%. And you know what, 2.5%, we figured out what our problem is, we'll get it fixed for next year. So those are remarkable, and that comes back to you and a board and what we're doing. Overall as a district, so a lot of celebrations. I don't want to spend more time, but man, if the public and everybody knew the time and effort into these reports, but there's a lot of positive if you can read what's happening in JCSD 1. So kudos to the team.
Beyond question, everyone.
Mr. Chair, I also didn't realize that we were done with
Oh, I was
that.
going-
And I totally had a couple of things too that I wanted to say. Dr. Miller, within your report, it's so awesome, all of the good stuff that we can read and understand. You doing, the mapping that you do with the PLC stuff, like I'm so on board with all that and I'm really just figuring it out and it's really exciting. Sitting here tonight, having that recognition of our community, people in our community, like that's a PLC, right? That's like, it's bringing us like the professionals, it's everyone coming together. And so I feel like we're just wrapping ourselves within this community and making, everything work for everyone. I did have one question for you and I probably know the answer, but I just want to clarify. So the new graduation requirements, you gave us all of those, the plan for those, the information, and you did say that in 2020 or April, more information is coming. And is this like due because we did that credit reduction at BHS and we changed some things like for New West? Is this encompassing all of that, like getting us as the district?
We're okay with that.
Yeah.
So we're good with that.
Okay.
So but then we need to have at least a plan in place by November for the incoming freshmen in 2027.
Right.
So we have a lot of time in regards to this compared to the literacy plan. I'm more concerned about the literacy plan, but actually I'm at more peace because we have Maggie and Jess Kavitz and our literacy team. So we have a great team there.
Okay.
But we have to work on, of course, those two, the graduation requirements and the
And that's
literacy
just,
plan.
that's just encompassing getting, because if I remember right, we said it'll affect every year, right? A little bit.
It will,
every
and so
year,
there's a transition, what you're talking
Yeah,
about. but
transition, that's what I
This is a
was
parallel, this is something a little bit different that we're just gonna incorporate to that transition, okay?
Okay, perfect. And my other thing that I wanted to say was to Mr. Oski. You every day put your heart and soul into this place. And it's huge. Your board reports are phenomenal. I appreciate all the work that you do with every board member. I appreciate the time that you take. Any one of us can call you, text you, whatever, email you, and you can write back to us. Your job isn't easy. These last few months have been really stressful. I know the stress that I've been feeling just personally as a trustee with the legislation. It's been a lot, and you have you've held us up. We've held each other up, and I'm grateful for that. I'm super grateful, and I'm even more grateful. Like Dave said, we got a lot of work coming ahead. That Johnson County and our business office and our superintendent and all of our administrators are being proactive, and we will not have to react negatively because of that. And so, working together, I think it's just been huge. And with you at the helm, Charles, I don't know. I feel really good about it. And I feel like we're building quite the team. And thank you. And thank you for supporting this board the way that you do, because it means a ton to me and it makes my job easier. So thank you. That's all I have to say.
Let me try some more time.
Yeah.
Anything else for the admin team reports? Only really this time, if you don't say something, I'm gonna move on. So, anybody got anything else for admin before I jump? Hearing none. All right, from the board, we did BOCES. No, let's see, where am I? Board level reports.
BOCES did not have a meeting.
Okay.
For the rec board, again, April 24th is the deadline for all those rec grant applications. That's when they're due. And then presentations are May 18th through the 20th for that. Also, a huge thing, the rec mill bill, I don't think made it out of the drawer.
It didn't get out.
So that's like.
You were another one I was tempted to move to celebrations for this week.
Yeah. So until next season, we're good to go.
We're good. System's working great. Carry on.
A great reflection is that, I think I shared that document with the Jack that presented on how all the rec board funding has been spent since he recorded all. that's some pretty phenomenal information, and it does show that we're doing the right thing with the team.
Okay, anything else on board level reports? For real, I'm fixing to jump again, get ready, everybody. All right, here we go, legislative update.
All right, so with that being said, I am going to, if you don't mind, I want to skip around. I want to go to C and start with the Sheridan College facility before we go into the legislative piece, because I think it ties into it. I had an opportunity to sit on a committee for 2 days up at Sheridan College interviewing for basically an architect team and then a construction team that was going to begin the process of designing the Sheridan College facility. And it was phenomenal. It was 2 full days, some great applications. We went through it, but what I guess I'm going to summarize is the dollars are there, and this isn't something that's just a dream. It's going to happen. And the commitment to the architect teams, that all 4 that came to the table, and the construction teams, I know it's going to be good for this community. So I'm really excited about that. Conversation with our county commissioner today about just the planning and the access and getting it from Buffalo High School and all those type of things. This community really does rally at what's best for our kids, and that is one building that I think that I know is going to be instrumental in doing some of the things we want to do with kids. So I think that's a huge celebration. In kind of what we're doing. Okay. Legislative update.
Charles, can I ask a quick question on that? So the land that was purchased is directly north of the football field across the road. Would that be correct?
That's correct.
Oh, thank you. I thought that, but I want to make sure.
And there's some issues. I mean, they're going to have to backfill a little bit, and there's some things. But again, everybody that came to the table understood it, and there's a plan. And more importantly, the plan they keep talking about is also the ability. This is what we can afford now, but we want to be able to expand.
Yeah.
So it's not about just plopping a building down and saying, "Hey, we did it." There's a lot of futuristic planning that's going to go into this. I, as a superintendent, talked with Jake. There's a collaborative effort between Buffalo High School and the ag facility. I mean, they talked about, well, we don't have enough land to do some of the ag things. Why do you have to reinvent the wheel? We already got it just right up the hill. So that collaborative effort is coming back to the work we've been doing with Whitney, tube revs, everything we've been doing with Sheridan County as far as industries go, the work we're doing with Sheridan College. So all of this stuff is coming together in a collaborative effort. And just another great example of that is the Compass. I met with them today and our parent liaison. Well, we're going to do one fundraiser instead of 2 fundraisers, where we are recognized this year for the work that we do as a district. Well, again, they said, why are we doing 2 fundraisers? Johnson County and Sheridan County are already collaborating together, so we're going to partner and do some things there. So again, just the extension of all the work that has started almost 2 years ago. There's a collaborative effort between the districts, the college, and the communities, and that's exciting. Yeah. Okay.
On that one a little bit, like we were talking earlier with the law enforcement, the collaborative team spirit of Johnson County, where the county commissioners came in and said, we got to get additional power to that lot, and they're going to bring it in from the north because it leaves them room to expand and grow instead of us running it off the football field, which we'd have been good, happy. And then also the safe routes to school. This project will involve a fair bit of trail building that'll connect our trail system up to the high school, so that it's going to be real excellent for walking and exercise, but it's also going to get our kids a nice clean route up to the high school without dodging quite so much traffic. So
it's not an underground tunnel, but
no, it's not quite that. Better think about a sky bridge that goes over.
Okay, so legislative update. Thunder, let's roll with it. I'm so glad that the rec mill died.
Yes.
So we're good with that. K-12 literacy, Dr. Miller said it. We have some experts already. Okay, the bar's been set high. I can honestly say with the state leadership that came in, got to see our presentations. I'm very confident that we as a district have the right people to get things in place over time and continue that journey of the science of reading, and just work towards meeting those goals.
Yes.
So excited about that piece. As far as recalibration goes, the governor didn't sign off, everybody knows that. So the bills
Became law without
became
signature.
law. And there's gonna be more talk or rumors, but this is where I stand. I brought the admin team, the district level, the first thing this morning, I handed out the sheet. We are moving forward. No more AI generated, well, this is what they think it is. We are gonna make a decision, we're gonna move forward, we're gonna start aligning staffing to the needs of this district, with the understanding we might have to bend a few rules to get there, because I think they missed in some areas, but it doesn't mean we're not gonna do what's best for the district. So there is some uniqueness to this, and those challenges are real, and I appreciate Dave for recognizing that as a board member who's seen this for a long time. The challenges are different, and
Yes.
there are categorical pieces that have statute tied to it. I'm very fortunate that I get to sit on the SIFDAC committee, which helps generate the rules accordingly, and I'm pretty sure I have a business manager that'll be in my back pocket going, that's wrong. And this is what we need to do. So guess what? We're at the table for the rulemaking. Whether they listen to the rules are different things, but at least we're at the table. However, that doesn't give us an excuse to wait until the rules are created, because we still haven't done it. We need to move forward.
Yes.
And do the things we need to do.
20 years of experience just went out the window. The rules all just switched.
So I know two things. I'm not gonna go to prison if I break a rule, but we are gonna change the rules. And even K-12, what they did with KC, that they fell short with the K-12 school. But we've already got people saying, hey, we'll change it for next year. So the groundwork has been laid for people to listen. And I firmly believe we still have a seat at the table with the work you've done as a board, the work we've done as district leadership with some of our state leadership, to understand that there's some changes that still need to come. So with that being said, you have some chips in front of you, and I'm gonna just give a quick overview of what this looks like. So in front of you, you have some white chips. That represents operations. That's 20% of our entire budget. Okay, the rest of the chips on the table are everything that we're doing with staffing. So the blue chips represent what's the new categorical piece, the FTEs. This is your summer school and extended day. So I want you to put those over there. Green represents classified. That still falls under the general budget. We can do what we want with that. The red, however, are the certified staff. A lot of money's been put into this column. But not everybody, some people are forgetting to realize the number of FTEs created in this was based on the class sizes that nobody wanted. Okay, that's the 1 to 22. However, in this categorical grant, we get to do whatever we want, right? Well, that's what they say. We get to do the rules. Well, in order to not have to rift, we're gonna take the FTEs they created for summer school and extended day to put into this pile, because the rules allow us to maintain staff and still be on the same trajectory of finding efficiencies and attrition over time, all right? The complicated part about that, and we can spend hours doing that, is they cap. We have to have a cap or a basic average teacher salary when we do that. So we're gonna move that needle over time. But in reality, there's that, there's this, which is a lot less, which our classified staff represents 50% of our employees.
Right.
All right? And then you put all that together, and I have to keep the buildings open, keep everything running with these two little white chips. And I'm guaranteeing you the cost of keeping buildings open and doing the things we do is not going down.
Going lower.
So when you say that it's complicated, it is complicated, but we're gonna do it. Fair? So I just want to, you can sleep at night, confident that we can get to where we need to get. But I wanted these chips just to visualize that is a big deal. There you go, you stack those and you stack that there in a $21 million budget, whatever that's gonna be. that's the challenge we have in front of us.
Not figured out.
The unknowns that we don't know about yet is our Title I funds, our federal funds, we don't know where those land, and those are critical components. So we cannot wait for another 2 months for them to interpret rules. We are gonna start making, that's what we're gonna do the grade bands, we're doing K-5, we're doing 6-12, and we're doing K-12 and KC, and it's all gonna work out. That's me being optimistic and realistic all at the same time, okay? I'm not throwing things out there that I can't, I'm not making a promise I can't keep. I'm just telling you, we will get to where we need to, but there will be some efficiencies we're gonna find.
It's gonna look different for sure.
Absolutely.
So Charles, the blue was summer school and what else?
Summer school and extended day.
Okay, so you're looking at about 6 million there. So will we just do less of summer school?
So I've already said, we're not gonna do summer school.
We're not gonna,
We're gonna, because our objective is to take care of kids during the school year.
We're handling it by
So
catching
the
them
money
fast.
that they're giving us, or FTEs that they're giving us for summer school and extended day, is what we're gonna use to make sure we support our teachers.
Okay,
They're great.
very good.
Good question. All right. There you go. I just need the chips back at the end of the night.
Cash them in, folks, cash.
Right. All right, then next up, our board reorganization update. We got to sit down with Commissioner Novotny today and.
Can I just say one more
Oh,
thing with
please.
that legislative
Yes,
update?
go.
I know we did. I just want everyone in our community and district and just all over to understand, one, I am extremely grateful for the representation we have at legislation. Those two people, Barry and Marilyn, are amazing. We sat down with them, they listen, they value what our community says, and they do the work. And not every community has that.
True.
They're not everyone will listen to their members when we call and text and whatever. And we are very fortunate to have those two people down there, so that's.
They were champions for us
Yeah.
unquestionably.
And granted, the things we asked didn't go our way, but they really tried.
They swang 3 times and they went down in flames 3 times, but they.
Took some hits and expended some
They
capital.
were doing what was best for kids in this community, absolutely.
And Marcia, I thought kudos go to Marilyn. She got picked for the committee to investigate Checkgate. That's a pretty good honor to do that. So people trust her, and so I'm proud of that.
Okay.
No, they were excellent hosts while we were down there. The tour was real fun.
Yeah. So board reorganization, 9 to 7 member board. April 7th, we invite all stakeholders to attend the county commissioner meeting.
Yes.
And they will listen to public comment, and then it is an action item that night. Since I visited with you, Travis, we are officially on the agenda for April 30th for State Board of Education in Riverton for that approval. So upon the approval of the county commissioners and the board, we will take their approval to the State Board of Education, which I don't see any hiccups in that process. And so by the end of April, we will have met your goal of reducing from a 9 to a 7 member board. I would encourage you as a board and with the stakeholders in the community, remind them if they do have concerns, pros or cons.
Sure.
Make sure they attend the April 7th meeting.
April 7th, 5 p.m. at the Commissioner's Room on top of the old courthouse.
Correct.
And everybody's invited. This is a public hearing. All stakeholders come, and if you have something to say, here is the chance. Come talk to us. Anybody got anything else on that one? Okay. We're from the board. Did our first officers meeting here 2 weeks back. We got the officer team in with the super on the Friday afternoon and went over where we were doing, what projects stood. And it was I thought, productive meeting. We had good discussions, had several good questions and things. How did it go on your end, Mr. Super?
I thought it was fabulous.
I did too. We had lots of good conversation.
You know, I did most of the talking again. So
You know more than us, that's okay.
A particular piece that I think is really important to highlight on that officer meeting is that we do that Q&A, that little podcast. And so I would encourage everybody to listen because we are not given those questions beforehand. We have an idea of like what we're talking about, but it's like out the chutes coming out of our mouths. And it's uncomfortable, but it's really cool.
Yes.
And
Informative.
very informative. And so we talk about a lot of different things that are going on in the district. And Dr. Miller has good questions and things that people are thinking and sometimes maybe don't want to ask. And so I think that's a super good highlight. It's always in Mr. Oski's report end of the month, and watch it.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Just on the highlight, I didn't realize that Dr. Miller used to do that kind of, so that used to be his sidekick.
There's a reason he's so good at this.
So good.
That's explained. All right. Next up, we've got the Communications Committee meeting. We sat down and went over some of the talking points. Kate, if you want to tell us where we're at.
Yeah, so we met last Monday. We'll meet again next Monday. We are working through creating a board communication plan, essentially. So we worked through the first 12 sections of it. It was riveting. But no, it's good. It's essentially, this document is going to line out, when we have new board members, it essentially just fast tracks some of that new orientation, for how communication flows within the board itself, what the expectation is, how communication flows from the super to the board chair to us. So that document, we will finish it up, the first draft will be ready for you guys at our work session in April. So then we can review it at that time and we can either slash it and say we don't want it, or we can hopefully move forward with the document.
Sure. Go through and find where everything.
Anything else, Charles, or?
No, I love the idea that we're talking about flow charts. And cleaning up, what is the chain of communication? I mean, let's talk, we understand what the chain of command is, but what is the chain of communication? And I think that will help any new board member and help us currently, even in my role, what is that communication?
It's just essentially formalizing a lot of the things that we already have in place and just making sure that there's systems. So when there is a board turnover, we can acclimate people quickly and efficiently. And then from that document, we're going to work on some, I always call it new employee, new board orientation, so that we can create some education for them on basically quick down and dirty how to be a board member.
And I like this, highlighting some of the things we've worked hard to implement that are now functioning real good. We can at least show future boards, hey, this worked for us. If you guys need a starting point, here's a reference.
So, Travis, I do want to give kudos to Katie for that work.
Yes,
It's
outstanding.
phenomenal. I mean, she has bigger documents than me, so it's all good. But there's a lot of detail in there, and she's passionate about it. And so we're gonna take advantage of her expertise, and I just grow. So I think a lot of kudos needs to be given to her with the time and effort she's put in with that document.
Good, you've been great. Okay, that leads us up to the April 8th work session special meeting. Wednesday, April 8th here at 5:15. We will get you guys an agenda put together for that one. And April 13th board meeting, we're going to KC. There was an issue in KC. Oh, which one we had to change?
Okay, so we will talk, I'll just talk about it now.
Good.
So next month, we're probably gonna vote to move our board meeting from KC in June up here because it's gonna be under construction.
They got major building action happening.
So we'll plant the seed today. It will be an action item next month, but it does need to be something you think about as far as moving the board meeting back up here. Just because of the construction going on. And if I remember correct, John, it says the construction's actually gonna start over where our board meeting would be, correct? Yeah.
Yes, you do not want to be holding up the work.
Unless you guys want to climb ladders and look around and see.
I'm pretty comfortable on a construction site, I don't mind. All right then, last thing up, we had public comment, there was just the one. Anybody else, public comment? Okay, hearing none. Need to have a short executive session, so I'd entertain a motion to enter executive session under Wyoming statute 16-4, 405, section A, II, and III, personnel and legal matters. Motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, say nay. Thank you, everybody. Quick break and then we'll hit this.
Jake, that was your jacket.
Craig, oh, that was right there? Hey, I laid claim early. Let's check.
8 o'clock? 8 o'clock?